Hey, this is Connie McNamara with the McNamara Group at Keller Williams Realty, and today we're discussing receiving multiple offers and how to choose the very best one for you. In the current real estate market, as you probably know, it is definitely a seller's market. So what's happening is there's still very low inventory and a lot of buyers anxious to purchase a home. So if you're selling, you likely are to receive multiple offers. And today I'm going to give you some suggestions on choosing the very best offer for you. First of all, obviously price is important. And when you're reviewing multiple offers, you're obviously going to be considering the prices offered. However, there's a lot of other points that you want to consider as well. Second of all, you obviously want to consider, is the buyer asking you, the seller, to cover any of their closing costs? This is very common that a buyer may need to bump up the price in order to have you, as the seller, cover some of their closing costs. But that makes a big difference in the net proceeds to you. Also, in this crazy seller's market, I've actually seen a few buyers offering to cover or pay some of the seller's closing costs at closing. Next, how about home warranties? It is fairly common for a buyer to ask for the seller to pay for a home warranty or a home protection plan for them at closing. But when you're considering offers, think about this one. It may be around a $500, $600 expense on your part. Next, inspection contingencies. This is obviously very common, and of course I advise every buyer to get a home inspection when purchasing a property. However, I'm more often now seeing a buyer keeping the right to have the inspection, but they're getting it for informational purposes only. They still have the right to move forward afterwards or to back out and get their earnest money back. But more and more often, those buyers are stating that they will not ask you, the seller, to complete any repairs. This could be a big difference and a big pro versus some of the other offers. Next, another important factor to consider is, are the buyers paying cash or are they getting a loan? If they're paying cash, there's obviously less risk involved with that transaction closing. However, if they're getting a loan and the price is significantly higher, you may very well want to consider that being the best offer. Just make sure they at least have a pre-qualified letter from a good mortgage lender. Pre-approval, even better. Next, you may want to consider any other contingencies in that purchase offer. If it's contingent on the successful sale of their property, you might want to think about that compared to the other offers, although yes, we're in a strong market. If it's contingent on the successful closing of their property, that means it's already under contract, and you may just want to make sure that your agent asks more questions so that you know where they are in the process. Have they already been through the inspection? What's their buyer looking like? Another contingency you may want to consider is appraisal. Obviously, for good reasons, most buyers will have an appraisal completed on the property, but they may offer some sort of clause that says that they can pay above that appraised value if it does not appraise for the contract price. Last of all, you very much want to consider closing date proposed as well as occupancy date. You may want to make sure that you're coordinating a closing date that is convenient for you based on your needs, but also if you feel more comfortable in this market as the seller, you may very well be able to negotiate a day or two or more after closing to occupy the property and move out. Thanks for watching my video. This is Connie McNamara with the McNamara Group at Keller Williams Realty. And if you have considered selling your property, now is definitely the time. The market is great for sellers, as we've been discussing. If you have any other general questions about real estate, please feel free to reach out. We'll be glad to help. Thank you and have a great day.